You're watching NTC News, DeKalb County's only television news source, on the campus of Northern Illinois University and from the Northern Television Center. This is NTC News Tonight.
You would always see me be like, "What's up, man? What's up? How are you?" Like, always smile ear to ear. And I feel like that's something that we have to remember him by.
An outpouring of tributes and tears continue for an NIU student who lost his life over the weekend. Good evening, I'm Chris Larson.
And I'm Darius Parker. We're talking about 19-year-old Timi Okendina. The NIU sophomore died late Saturday after falling 11 stories from one of the towers at Stevenson Hall. This is what it looked like last night at MLK Commons. More than 70 people, friends, and classmates turned out for a vigil to share memories of Okendina. They played his favorite songs. Even though Okendina was studying geology, he enjoyed art, and people shared some of his artwork at the vigil. An autopsy yesterday disclosed the obvious about what caused Okendina's death, the injuries from his fall. But students also focus on the circumstances behind the death, and they don't believe it was simply a fall, as the university is calling it.
I don't think his family would like us disclosing everything just yet. But all I can say is it was really unlike Timi, so it wasn't him to do that.
NIU police are directing all questions about Okendina's death to the university's marketing office.
And the only thing we're being told from them is that a death investigation is continuing. Results of what's called a toxicology report to determine if drugs or alcohol are involved may not be released for a couple of weeks.
With all of this going on, what student couldn't use a hug on their way to class? September is Suicide Prevention Month, and one student organization is taking matters into their own hands. NIU's Alpha Phi Omega is giving out free hugs to students walking across campus to remind them they aren't alone. Illinois health officials say that the third leading cause of death for young adults in Illinois is suicide. APO organized multiple events during September, including handing out little handwritten notes of encouragement.
Some people were very into it, came right on up and wanted a hug. Other people were a little bit more reluctant, but sometimes just a smile and saying, "Have a nice day," is just something enough just to brighten somebody's day.
Able to expect a hug walking across campus, but something you can't expect is a ride from the NIU's Husky pups.
NTC's Stefanie Royce is on campus covering the new trail of the familiar pups.
NIU has found new uses for their Husky pups after a failed launch last year as a free shuttle service. The electric tram cars that were purchased last year are being repurposed for university use.
Two have been assigned to intercollegiate athletics for special use, primarily during NIU football games. The other two are assigned to student affairs and enrollment management, again for special use and special event purposes.
The Husky pups were envisioned as a key element of President Baker's 10-minute campus initiative. The service aimed to help students get from one end of campus to the other in short intervals, while also trying to curb students from driving to campus, rolled out enthusiastically in the fall of last year. However, the pups hit a roadblock when the harsh DeKalb winter rendered the vehicles useless. The university purchased the vehicles last year after the Board of Trustees approved a $270,000 expenditure for the pups and the construction needed to accommodate them. The beta vehicle came at a cost of $55,000 to the university, while the three subsequent vehicles purchased cost them another $18,000 apiece. Facing a tough budget cut proposal from Governor Bruce Rauner, which could amount to a loss of as much as $29 million to the school, the university has had to tighten its belt and take a long look at where they're spending their money. With the university-wide program prioritization already underway, some hard choices need to be made going forward.
We certainly understand that the fiscal situation of the state, and we're planning accordingly.
For NTC News, I'm Stefanie Royce.
Thanks, Stefanie. Husky pups may not have the money, but a project that does is the Stagecoach Players Theater. DeKalb City Council has voted 6-1 to provide funds to improve the theater. The Stagecoach Players have owned the theater for about 15 years and want to finish renovations now. The renovations will fix architectural problems. It would also replace windows, lights, and signs. The project will cost roughly over $272,000.
Something else the DeKalb City Council is working on is a possible water rate hike. The rate hike would send rates up from 4% to 8%. This hike would provide funding for a 10-year plan to improve water quality and treatment. The plan will cost about $13.1 million altogether. Most of the costs will go towards replacing water mains and approximately 177 miles of water piping.
The DeKalb County Health Department is holding a flu clinic. According to a news release, the flu clinic will provide protection from 4 different flu strains. Walk-ins are allowed Monday through Friday from 8:30 a.m. to noon and 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. The clinic will accept Medicare, Medicaid, and most PPO health insurances. The department asks that patients bring a photo ID and insurance cards.
The proposed Sycamore Sober House still has work to be done before it's open to residents. It must be updated to comply with the Americans with Disabilities Act, which provides installing a ramp, handicap parking, and making bathrooms accessible. The house was approved by the Sycamore City Council in May. City Manager Brian Gregory says a timeline was never discussed about when the house would be ready.
As fall quickly approaches, Farmers Market Thursdays has come to a close in DeKalb. The annual Farmers Market is sponsored by Kish Health System and Castle Bank. This community event takes place in downtown DeKalb from June until late September. The Farmers Market features local produce, baked goods, handcrafted goods, and more. We'll look forward to the return in June.
DeKalb flew into a pretty interesting event last weekend.
There was even a penguin there. Here is NTC reporter Brianna Flood with what soared through the sky right here in DeKalb.
Many kites fill the sky at DeKalb's 10th annual Kite Festival, such as a kite shaped as a duck, a parrot kite, an octopus kite, and even kites that put on a show for the crowd. It's hard to believe that this Kite Fest was put together over a decade ago, all because a young boy wrote a persuasive letter to the mayor of DeKalb.
Let's have a kite festival, and 2 days later he got back to me and he said, let's do it.
Not only is Kite Festival a way to get children off their electronics and outside, it is also a way to get children to know different materials, use tools, and engage with nature. The Kite Fest offers a make-your-own kite booth, which engages children in learning the different mechanisms of kite flying and also to engage in special memories.
I was a kid and my dad took the time out to take me to fly a kite in a park, and it's obviously one of the most cherished moments I have with my father.
One of the most important aspects of kite flying is the wind. This little boy had a hard time, but he never gave up. And sometimes, many years of practice will direct you towards a professional kite flying level. Kite flying is just not about the winds. It has to do with being a safe kite flyer and knowing just what to do with your hands.
A lot of people that came out here and wanted to fly their own kites, and a lot of people that are really kite enthusiasts that have some bigger kites, not like the ones like the 90-footers you see in the sky, but they had their own and they're pretty good flyers. So we started setting up an area for visitors to come and fly their own kites.
With Kite Fest being such a success for children, families, and professional kite flyers, Kite Fest will be around for many years to come. In DeKalb for NTC News, Brianna Flood.
Looks like today could be a perfect day to fly a kite.
Christina Lind is here now with the weather.
Yeah, guys, it may be a little bit too windy to fly a kite today, but those temperatures and the sun sure does make it better. Let's go ahead and take a look at those temperatures for tomorrow. Throughout the northern Illinois region, we will be experiencing cooler temperatures than what we're used to, but that sunshine is not going anywhere anytime soon. Stay with us. You're watching NTC News Tonight.
So they say it's a man's world? I don't see anybody's name on it.
While they were doing their thing, we slowly changed our own.
Today, women can do anything men can do. And there's one thing we're even better at.
Welcome back, everybody. I hope you're enjoying your gorgeous Wednesday. We did experience a high of around 64 degrees, which is a little bit cooler than what we are actually used to for this time of year. And for tonight, we will be reaching a low of around 43. Let's go ahead and take a look outside beautiful Davis Hall. As you can see, there's people still outside enjoying that nice sun and those warm temps. But it is a little bit breezy out there with gusts up to 12 miles per hour. Let's go ahead and take a look at Wednesday. There is some showers to the west of us, but this high pressure system is staying down here with us, making it nice and sunny. For Thursday, we will still be having that high pressure system helping us stay dry and kind of temperatures of what we are getting used to for this time of the year. It is a little bit chilly, but once again, it's starting to turn into fall. For Friday, once again, we are experiencing those same systems, but let's go ahead and take a look right over here. I want to focus on this, what's happening in the East Coast. This is the remnants of what could possibly be left of Hurricane Joaquin. It has been reported to be a Category 1 hurricane, which is now lingering around the Bahamas and the Turks and Caicos region. Let's go ahead take a look back here for Wednesday night. We have mostly clear skies, a little bit chilly, but the winds will be picking up around 43 degrees. For tomorrow, once again, sunny, but let's go ahead and take a look at those wind gusts, 5 to 15 miles per hour. That is pretty breezy. And we'll be sitting at a high of around 63 degrees. Thursday night, once again, mostly clear, a little bit on the cooler side, around 43. Let's go ahead and now take a look at the 5-day forecast. Beautiful sunny skies once again this week, but it is getting a little bit chilly. For Thursday and Friday, 63 once again. Saturday and Sunday, the weekend, it is going to be a little bit chilly. If you have any weekend plans, make sure to bring a coat. It is going to get a little bit chilly, especially at night, with the lows of around the mid-40s. That's it for weather. Now let's send it back to the desk.
Drew Peterson is back in court.
And museums around the state are getting the axe due to state budget cuts. These are today's state lines.
A judge has delayed Drew Peterson's next trial to the end of February. The former Bolingbrook police officer is in prison for killing his ex-wife. Peterson is now being accused of trying to solicit a fellow inmate to kill the state's attorney who persecuted him. Peterson is challenging wiretap evidence that he says was improperly obtained.
Governor Bruce Rauner is set to close state museums and a sports shooting complex to the public because of the budget crisis. Rauner's office initially sent layoff notices to more than 100 workers. The cut would save about $5 million.
Police in western Illinois say a hunter who was scouting land prior to deer season found 260 marijuana plants growing at Big Bend State Fish and Wildlife Area. The Whiteside County Sheriff's Department says about $250,000 worth of marijuana was destroyed.
The Who's 50th anniversary concert tour will include a stop at Chicago's United Center on March 10th. The band rescheduled dates after canceling the fall tour as lead singer Roger Daltrey recovers from viral meningitis. Tickets from the originally scheduled shows will be honored. And those are today's state lines.
Georgia carries out an execution.
And Russia launches an airstrike in Syria. This is today's World Watch.
Despite pleas from family, supporters, and even the Vatican, authorities in the state of Georgia have executed Kelly Gissendaner. The 47-year-old was sentenced to death for convincing her lover to murder her husband. That was in 1997. Gissendaner had 2 previous execution dates postponed. She is the first woman put to death in Georgia in 70 years.
Russia has conducted its first airstrike inside Syria, near the city of Homs. Russia's parliament gave President Vladimir Putin approval to take military action in Syria. The Kremlin says Syrian President Bashar al-Assad had asked for Russia's help to fight ISIS.
The United Nations is raising the Palestinian flag at its New York headquarters today. It will join more than 190 other flags in the Rose Garden outside the building. Traditionally, only flags of member states are on display outside the UN Tower. Palestinians see this as another step towards cementing their place in the international community.
A clash broke out on Capitol Hill Tuesday between the provider of women's health care and abortions and Republican lawmakers. Congress is questioning whether Planned Parenthood should continue to get taxpayer money after a series of controversial hidden camera videos. Planned Parenthood pushed back, calling for the anti-abortion activists behind the videos to be investigated. And that's today's World Watch.
welcome to NTC Sports. I'm Emily Beebe. Very exciting news for Cubs fans as the Cubs clinched a playoff spot over the weekend. And they didn't waste any time in their matchup against the Reds. They scored all 4 of their runs in the first inning. Let's check it out. Montero sends the ball deep to the back corner of right field. The ball gets away from Jay Bruce, and 2 runs score on the double, making it 3-0 Chicago. Still in the first, Baez reaches, makes contact with the end of his bat, and dumps it into right field. Bruce drops the ball, and the run scores. The Cubs held the Reds at 1 run, making the final score 4-1 Chicago. Let's move over to Monday Night Football and the Packers win against the Chiefs. Early on in the first, Aaron Rodgers whips the ball out to Ty Montgomery for an 8-yard touchdown pass. 14-zip second quarter, and Jamal Charles slices off the left tackle and into the end zone for a 9-yard touchdown run. A minute before the half, Rodgers draws the Chief offsides with the hard count, then does what he does best and throws a 26-yard touchdown pass to James Jones. Packers rout the Chiefs 38-28. Now we move over to soccer and the play of the day. Well, in yesterday's matchup between Bayern Munich and Dynamo Zagreb, there couldn't be just one play of the day. Let me show you why. In the 21st minute, Thiago Alcantara with the assist, Lewandowski at the center of the box takes the shot and scores. Douglas Costa with the corner kick, great pass to the center of the box. That's 2 goals for Lewandowski. Here Costa flips the ball back to Alcantara. Alcantara passes to wide open Lewandowski, and that makes his 3rd goal of the day. Bayern takes Dynamo 5-0, and Lewandowski's hat trick takes the play of the day. That's it for sports. Ryan Mack will have more for you this same time Monday.
I'm one unlucky guy. The chance of being involved in a robbery is 1 in 757. The chances of being struck by lightning 1 in 750,000.
Please fasten your seatbelts for unexpected turbulence.
The chances of being a victim in an airline crash 1 in 29 million. Hey, could I get some peanuts? The chances of being involved in a car crash are far greater than lightning strikes and plane crashes. And if you are texting while driving, your risk of crash increases 23 times. Now, I may be an unlucky guy, but I don't have to be part of that statistic, and neither do you. Drive responsibly.
Next time you're thinking about getting flowers for that special someone, here's a tip.
Don't consider getting a corpse flower, or he or she probably won't be that special someone anymore. Here are some pictures of the corpse flower. It's now on display at the Chicago Botanical Garden. After that first bloom, the corpse flower can take another 2 or more years to bloom again. When it does, it blooms for about 3 days and smells pretty putrid. That's because of a combination of chemicals, including benzyl alcohol, indole, and trimethylamine. The scent is most powerful at night.
Not exactly what might make a great first date.
But it's odd enough that it's probably worth a visit. NTC News Tonight is produced and directed by Northern Illinois University students. We hope your evening is a comfortable one.
Thank you for watching. Good night, everyone.